I tell people all the time, if you haven't heard the story, Bob and I actually did a morning radio show together in Denver for a couple of years. And before the mornings just killed him after writing on deadline till 1 o'clock the night before. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Better than most of those mornings when I stumbled in.
Dude, by the end, I felt so bad for you. He was like a zombie, man, just walking in. He'd be covering like a West Coast Colorado Avalanche game till like 2:30 in the morning, and he'd have to be back in at 6. Forget about it.
Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Bob,
go ahead. No, Kev.
Where does Saturday night rank for you, Bob, in terms of games that you've covered?
Well, it's right up there. It's not quite, the Butler run, getting to the final against Duke and that Hayward shot missing. But, as far as being a great game and just the level of heartbreak for Purdue, it's right up there. It was just an astonishing game. And to see the game played at such a high level, I mean, there are so many things about college sports and college basketball that make you want to take a shower at the end of the day, because of all the excesses and the federal probes and all that kind of stuff. But, man, when you see young men play at that level, that kind of competition, it makes you feel a little bit good about college hoops.
Well, you've been covering these two programs, IU and Purdue and even Butler for a long time now. As you start to look at the season in total, what are your thoughts on each of the programs?
Well, I mean, obviously Purdue overachieved in an epic way. To lose four senior starters who were, all terrific players, and to come back, go 6-5, I thought they were dead in the water. I mean, I was at that game at the Crossroads Classic and thought, this team is Carson Edwards and nobody else. And the way that Matt Painter developed that team from within, the way guys like Harms and Wheeler and Trevion and all the rest developed, really is makes a great statement about the coaching staff and those young guys in particular. I thought IU underachieved something fierce. I am not sold yet on Archie Miller. Clearly he can recruit guys, but whether he can coach them, I don't know. If they just weren't good enough, that'd be one thing, guys, but they didn't play hard. And I never saw guys being held accountable for not playing hard. And you think back to his Dayton teams, and they never had great size, never had great talent, but they always overachieved. And so that was really shocking. Butler, I'm not quite sure what to make of them. I mean, losing Brunk isn't going to help any, but to me, that's one where you just got to give Lavall Jordan more time. And I think Archie Miller deserves 4 or 5 years too, but I'm not quite sure what to make of Butler just yet. I didn't think they did what they were supposed to do, but I never thought they were going to be a top 3, top 4 team in the Big East anyway.
Bob, I know we got a lot of time here the next couple of weeks for the transfer situation to sift itself out, and NBA draft, guys going pro and all that stuff. Let's say Romeo and Carson Edwards both go pro. Right now, who do you think has a better season next year, Purdue or Indiana?
I think Purdue. I mean, you've got Trevion Williams coming back. You've got Eric Hunter. You've got, They're going to be pretty damn. I really like Wheeler a lot. I think he's going to be a terrific alpha for them. Harms, obviously, no Gerald Eastern. The list goes on. I think Purdue is going to be one of those teams. They're going to be a top 3, top 4 type of team next year in the Big Ten. I don't know what IU's got. I mean, obviously, you get Trace in here. A McDonald's All-American, but how is he going to be good enough to overcome the lack of talent elsewhere? I mean, I think Devontae has a chance to be a good player. He certainly played really well toward the end of the season. I liked Durham a whole lot. I thought he was one of the few guys who consistently played hard. But I think Purdue is far and away going to be a better team next year.
Bob Kravitz talking college basketball with us here from The Athletic on the Jeff and Big Joe show. And I'm going to switch up on you a little bit, too, because now we start to pay a little attention to what the Colts are going to do in the draft again. And I know you, Bob, you've probably done 15 mock drafts already, right?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Where do you think the Colts are likely to look in the latter part of the first round?
Oh, I think defense, I think they could use a little more help in the secondary. Wouldn't shock me if they went the safety route because you just don't know about Geathers. I mean, I think it's going to be your basic best player available, but I think they're going to look, all things being equal, I think they're going to look defense first, and look, Chris Ballard has made it very clear that he's all about, strengthening the offensive and defensive lines. And I think the offensive line clearly is where it needs to be. So I could see him going defensive line as well. But, and I'd like to see them go get another wide receiver, because Funchess is a one-year deal right now. I mean, if he plays well, I think they'll try and keep him. But, if he doesn't, he's not the long-term answer. Same thing with Justin Houston on defense. That's a 2-year deal, I believe, and I don't think they necessarily look at him as the long-term answer, as kind of their primary pass rusher. So I think they're going to look to make some additions in terms of the pass rush.
Bob, going back to Purdue for just a second, we've been talking a lot today about Carson Edwards and just how he projects at the next level. Whenever that NBA career does start for Carson Edwards, what do you envision for him in the league?
Well, I can tell you that I've talked with a couple of NBA people about Carson, and here's the concern they have: how many 6'2" two guards are there in the NBA? Not a lot. I can't think of really anybody. All I guess would be, Corey Joseph when he's playing the two. But what they tell me is they would love to see him come back and play the point next year, but I don't think that's going to happen. You're 6 foot tall. You need point guard skills, and whether we don't know if Carson really has point guard skills, and I think he's a second-round pick, at least based on what I've heard. But I think his stock is never going to be higher unless he does play point next year. Then I think his stock has a chance to increase. But assuming that he doesn't, I think it's probably smart for him to come out this year, especially after this incredible season and a more incredible postseason run. But I see him as a second-rounder. But again, two guards at 6 foot, there's not a lot of them, and so I think there's a lot of NBA people who wonder how he's going to fit in.
Hey, when's your golf tournament this year?
It is June 26th, my friend, and I know you'll be tearing it up. June 26th. It's I think our 7th annual ALS golf tournament, and so. Really looking forward to it. Really excited about it, and hopefully we can exceed the amount of money that we raised last year.
It's always been a good one, and you guys do good work out there, so I like to promote it because it really is for a great cause. And we will talk to you soon, my friend. Thanks for the time.
Take care, guys. Be good.
All right.
Thanks,
Bob Kravitz from The Athletic.
Always a fun outing
there. Sure. You been there?
Yeah. Played in the golf outing for several years now.
You never know who you're going to see, too. I'm out there registering last year. I look up, and Larry Bird's standing right behind me.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bob usually has a pretty good celebrity list there.
I love that. By the way, speaking of commercials, we saw the Andrew Luck and Mike Trout commercial. I kind of dig that Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, NCAA my bracket buddy, right?
That is good.
Charles Barkley.
That is.
I mean, that's probably dad humor, but I thought it was funny.
And honestly, the more Charles, just the better. One of the funnier, I think, athletes to have a post, whatever you want to call it, career, acting, TV career.
You always know what's on his mind.
Oh, yeah.
You always know what's on his mind.
He's not holding anything back.
Nope. All right, along with Kevin Bone, who's in for Big Joe today, I'm Jeff Rickard. Coming up in a minute, I've got more tickets to go see the Golden Gloves, which are happening again this week on Thursday night over at the Tyndall Armory. I'll tell you more about that. And the pop quiz is how you get those tickets. So get on the line right now at 239-1070, 317-239-1070. A pop quiz for a Monday. What kind of mood are you in today, Scotty? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is this one? 5, he says, which means you got a chance to get 3 of them right.
I think it's doable.
You think it's doable? All right. We'll find out next. 239-1070 here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.